Welcome back to What Would It Cost? On this week's episode, we're talking all things real estate.
Big shout out to our sponsors, Mike and Paul Gibo from Premium Barbershop. They're at Weston and Rutherford, and they got 6 barbers cutting people up all day, an amazing espresso machine with an awesome bean and a little bar, and they're great hosts. And the place is beautiful inside and out, so you'll enjoy the experience. I'm 100% sure of that, so hit them up. Again, Premium Barbershop, big shout out Mike and Paul Gibo, and Weston and Rutherford.
What is it going to cost?
How much?
Hi, my name's Nicholas Regina.
My name's Michael Sakuro.
And you're listening to
What Would It Cost?
Is that good?
Today we want to welcome our guest, Jordan Mete.
How you doing?
How's it going?
Welcome, brother.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah,
First
no,
guest
with
a Spro glass in his hand.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, you can tell he's in his element.
I'm new. I'm new.
A Spro glass is very natural.
I'm really relaxed here today.
Very
I'm
natural
really
with the Spro glass in it. Right?
I'm really relaxed. I'm basically at home now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
My new brother's here at Spark Financial.
That's
so yeah,
it.
basically
Yeah,
at home.
that's it.
That's
Right
all
on.
it is. I
That's
appreciate you
awesome.
guys. Thanks for having me on.
That's awesome. No, thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
And we're excited because the real estate market's forever changing. So love to hear your take and your success in it.
Absolutely, yeah, it is. I mean, recently, I don't know when this is going to be aired, but yesterday we had a new rate hike.
Yeah.
So went up 0.5 basis points. If you guys are familiar, if you're not familiar, that means prices are now coming down, and they've been coming down for about the last, I would say, 5 to 6 weeks now.
Yeah.
Right. So more inventory hitting the markets, and we're seeing a steady decline now with prices generally just outside the GTA.
Yeah.
And the outside the 416.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely becoming more of a buyer's market now.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, we're seeing that transition to a really big seller's market for probably the last 2 years, but it's really nice to see buyers getting the opportunity to get their financing conditions in, their home inspection conditions in.
Yeah.
It's a good change.
Yeah.
It's a good change. It's a good change.
No,
It's
awesome.
really nice meeting you today. I've heard nothing but great things about the Mete last name and yourself, and how you guys are awesome in the community on an overall. So that's what this podcast allows us to do in a nutshell, is meet individuals like yourself. So it's great to put a face to the name and talk to us a little bit about, the family, the last name, the community, how you got into real estate, and anything else that you'd want our audience to hear, right? But it's a pleasure to host you today, bud.
This guy's so sweet. You're so sweet. I appreciate that. A little bit about me. Yeah, just from Vaughan, Ontario, 28 years old.
Yeah.
Got into real estate about 7 years ago. Going through college, was one of those kids, didn't really know what he wanted to do. When he graduated, figured I tried selling houses to pay off some college debt.
Yeah.
Sold my first house, paid all the college debt off.
Nice. Yeah.
In one shot. Thought, this might be a better opportunity for me.
Yeah.
And, just ran for the hills after that, got into real estate. First, it was a part-time. I was actually serving at the same time I was selling homes while also being in college. Dropped both of those.
Wow.
Did my first deal in a little town called Acton,
Okay.
Ontario.
Yeah,
There used to be a little commercial skit on the radio said it was worth the drive to Acton. I don't know if you guys ever heard about it. It's not worth the drive. It's very far. It's definitely not worth the drive. Had a great mentor, Dominic Manchese. Hopefully he's watching this when it airs, and still trains me today. And
Nice.
we've been doing that for about 7 years now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, a little bit about his last name. I have another brother who's also selling homes now, Julian.
Yeah.
First realtors in the family, and we're just, like I said, running to the hills with it. We're having a really good time doing it too.
Nice.
And
nice.
Yeah,
So college, bartending, or you're saying bartending, and you got your real estate license in, and you ripped the sale.
So that probably would have been brought us back to 2013 when that happened. So Seneca College.
Okay.
Just running a regular undergrad generic program.
Yeah.
No clue what I wanted to do with myself yet. Had a lot of debt, as most people do when they get in, and it was just kind of getting hectic. Divorced parents, single mom, 4 kids.
Wow. Yeah.
Said I got to pay these bills.
Yeah, stuff to do.
Bartending came into the picture.
Yeah.
Said let's scratch this and get some sales. So sold my first home.
Yeah.
Acton, Ontario for about $500,000, $500,000.
Yeah.
And was able to pay off all that debt and get right into the business. And that was the first swan dive, if you want to call it, into there. So it was really good for me. It was really good for me.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So now look at the outlook of the real estate market. Is there a specific area you guys focus on, more on the buyer side, more on the selling side, or you just generalized all around?
Yeah, so we like to target a specific niche market. It's a residential resale market in the New Market, Aurora, Richmond Hill communities there. We do resale residential. We also do pre-construction condos as well as pre-construction detached homes. And we have an assortment of options right now for sale. And we're a little bit specific because we offer a package that is really like an a la carte system to sellers nowadays. So we really get in tune of what your home or property needs, and we're able to offer you that service.
Right.
If it was like something, and I'm just trying to think off the top with you guys, if, you know, if I came into a home and I saw maybe the paint job isn't the best, or, you know, the floors could be redone, or we can add some lighting fixtures to get you top dollar, we're going to do that for you. So we offer you different packages to get that done. And none of that costs any money out of your pocket.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's something I created probably about 3 years ago when working with Dominic Manchese. And it was a more simple. So we would only do, you know, maybe painting was like the first one, staging was part of that. And then we got really exaggerated in what we were able to offer. So we started bringing in lighting fixtures, changing tile. We have contractors in pretty much every sector, so we can come in and do whatever it is that you guys need to be done to get your home sold for the top dollar.
Nice.
Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome that you offer that, because it helps them maximize the potential of the selling price, right? And something that you guys inhale and take in as a cost. That
Well, wouldn't you want that, Nick? Like,
Absolutely.
If I was selling your home, wouldn't you be like, Jordan, how can I get the most amount of money?
100%.
And I'm going to tell you right there how to get the most amount of money, right?
100%.
And, you know, not everyone has the dollars physical to, you know, spend 5, 10, 15,000 on their home at any given time. So that's where we come in. We take the upfront cost for you, make your house look pretty in an efficient manner. Right? To sell your house for the most amount of money in the least amount of time with the least amount of hassle, because that's what you want at the end of the day.
Awesome.
Very cool. No, and it makes the most sense. You're showing them that there's that value that you're going to get the top dollar for them, and it benefits both parties at the end of the day.
And they love us at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Like, we become family. Like, if you're laughing now, I had an espresso on earlier. Like, we become best friends with our clients afterwards too. Like, they call us, we do follow-up checks 2-3 months down the road.
Sweet.
And that's where a lot of our business comes from too. It's a lot of new people in that New Market, Aurora, Richmond Hill area, but it's a lot of repeat and referral business too.
Right.
So about, I would say now 85% of our business, 80 to 85% of our business is new clients. But 20 of it is probably just referrals from someone we worked with in the past that had a really good experience with us that we're continuing to do business with them now.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
Very cool.
That's what it is. Cool. It's all about the referral system, and once you're out there, no matter how much marketing you do, it's getting that referral from that past client.
That's my favorite thing. And the first thing I say when I walk into homes, guys, like, you know, I'm here just to get your referral. We want to do the absolute best job for you, and we want to make sure you keep referring the Mette last name, as you said. And just go forward with that, because, you know, I like to think we're all pretty young guys still. And we're going to be in the business for a little while, so we want to make sure we carry that reputation with us, right?
Absolutely. Very well said. Very well said.
Me more than you, Nick, but you know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Very well said. No, it's true. And we're the next up. We're the next generation that's coming up, and we're paving the way for, you know, the younger bucks behind us, right? And what we do and how high we set the bar is something that collectively we're all really proud of, you know, and to, again, you know, work with and host and be a part of, you know, each other's community is awesome, because we can continue to help each other elevate, right? And spread the word about good service.
What I love to do, and I love seeing the older, call them dogs, with all the older dogs, the older guys in the business. Seeing what they're doing, and they've been kind of doing the same thing for so many years, and with like technology nowadays and what you can do and add to your resume, and attach that to yourself. Like, when you go forward, you could fix some of those old school problems with new school technology. So we really just adopted all those good things, add them to our business with a little bit more options. And people have been loving it.
Awesome.
People have been loving it.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
So now about your brokerage, do you guys have your own team, or are you connected with another team right now?
So Royal LePage Premium One Realty. My broker did not tell me to say this right before I got on the show. Royal LePage Premium One Realty that's where we're working out of right now. We have 2 locations. One is in Vaughan. The other one's in Kleinberg.
Nice.
The Mette team does work out of both offices. Right now I'm coming from Woodbridge though. Or the Vaughan office. We have a pretty deep team. I believe we're 4 members now. All of our teammates speak different languages, which is really good to service those different areas, which is why we strategically pick them up to be on our team. So we don't just take on anyone. You know, we want to make sure you're working with the right people. We were talking about,
of course,
how important that could be before we went live. But everyone's really good. Honestly, when it came down to the team and picking members to join it, it came down to which character traits do I think are impressive in the business.
Right.
And if you didn't have those traits, we really weren't interested in working with you. So it's a select a few who we do work with.
Interesting.
And we're able to pass that off and show value because we really want it to be consistent. That was the main thing in my mind when I started the Mete team.
Yeah.
We want to have some kind of consistency between everyone that we work with.
Yeah.
So whether you work with me or Michelle or Matthew, whoever it is, we want to make sure you're getting the same treatment or experience at the end of the day. And that review will always transition into a positive experience.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
That's interesting. So you're adamant about making sure that their core values align with what your vision is and what your core values are, and that way they get that continuity through the experience. You're not just hiring on and let's just, they're just a number and we got, X amount of agents, but it's something where, you didn't really do the due diligence to find out who exactly you're letting in the family. And that's a huge reflection of your team and your brokerage and what you represent. So good on you for going that extra mile, right? Yeah.
I think it's essential. I mean, you want to show value, and just to put everything behind it, like I throw my last name in front of the team, right? So it's really a reflection of me than it is more of these people on the team, right? Because when you're going there, we're representing as the Mete team, which is my last name. A lot of these guys don't share my last name, so you want to make sure they share your values at the very least.
Very cool.
Right.
Yeah.
They're a direct representation of yourself. So you want to make sure, like Nick was saying, you don't just hire on 100 agents. We've got a huge team, and you lose that quality control.
And I'm sure that would make a lot of money, and I'd be in for that too. But we're really focused right now on building a positive experience for our clientele.
That's awesome.
And the longevity of our business.
Yeah, very cool.
That's what we're in it for.
Very cool.
That's
cool.
awesome. And what's next for the team and for the Mete Real Estate team?
Oh, I can't say too much, but I'm gonna tell you guys anyways.
Yeah.
We're working on a lot of pre-con opportunities right now. So a lot of condo developments happening in the GTA.
Nice.
That we're working with developers and builders with currently.
Okay.
Just to get pre-allocations for those projects. Once we have that, we're probably going to multiply numbers. We're currently taking resumes for people now to join the team. So we're going through that process to make sure the value is all good. So we are looking to expand the team. Continuing with our resale residential side as well. And just looking for more partners and just better ways that we can just get better in general. To be honest with you, I'm very open-minded when it comes to growing the business because I feel like we are still so new. The team's been around for about 5 years. 4 or 5 years, something like that. So we're still early on, and I feel like we have a lot of room to grow.
Right.
Very cool.
Awesome.
So that's what we're working with right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Nice.
And I've heard that that's pretty tough to do, what you're doing in regards to getting allocations directly from the builders and the developers. But once you're established and you have a good name and a team behind you like you guys do, that's something that you could be eligible for. And obviously your connections and your network really helps with that. So tell us a little bit about that and what it's cost to set your operation up to be able to position yourself so that can come, or what that looks like for you bringing on other realtors and being able to distribute that commission, and how that can really help what you're doing, right? I've heard that's tough to do what you're doing right now. Yeah.
So before you even start talking about pre-con allocations, anything like that, you have to be able to show your numbers. And that's going to come on the resale residential side. So if you're not doing resale residential in a good community, none of the builders really want to work with you, because if you're not already selling in that community, there's no intrinsic motivation to work with you. Right? So the areas, like I said, we specialize in, that Newmarket, Aurora, Richmond Hill, certain pockets in Barrie, certain pockets in Toronto. If you're not already in there, you really don't have a chance to compete with the big dogs in those areas,
Interesting.
right?
Okay.
So we try to be a big dog in our area.
Right. Okay. And then that shows up on your resume that, hey, look, this is our target market here, and we're moving volume here, so we deserve these allocations.
Absolutely.
We can sell them.
Absolutely. And just to go, what would it cost? We pay a lot of money to Google.
A
lot of money to Google, a lot of money Facebook to make sure our advertising, we have print advertising and campaigns all across those neighborhoods I just told you guys about.
Okay.
So we really made a footprint and embedded ourselves in those communities. And from there, we would be able to have a specific part of our resume that would attract those builders and developers.
Right. Awesome.
And that's what kind of got our foot in the door.
Okay.
And I think that was the key. So to answer your question, I think spending some money on Google, Facebook, and some print campaign kind of gave us that different stretch from what most realtors were doing at the time. But again, it's like adding that technology, spending some money on Instagram as well, getting the proper content made, contacts, putting it all together on a schedule. That wasn't something we were always doing. That's kind of a new thing. Just like you guys were here today on the podcast, right? Like this is new. No one would have been doing this a decade ago.
Right. So, Very cool. So that sounds like quite the process, right? Like building that team, have a good understanding for that neighborhood, building up that volume, right? Like this is all that takes time. It takes a lot of effort. It takes expertise, right? So good on you to be able to be in that position now to go for these allocations, man.
And to be honest with you, I thought I was just gonna be selling houses when I started this job.
It's
way more than that, guys. It's way more than that. I thought I was just gonna be selling homes. Then when we got into the staging, talking about mortgages, advertising campaigns, marketing, budgets for all of these things. We wear so many hats on any given day. Not to mention when we're with our clients, sometimes I turn into a therapist, and sometimes you got to be a financial planner, and you're putting on all these different hats. But after a few years, you kind of get used to them. You get comfortable speaking to people and how they feel and what they're going through during those times. I think when I bought my first home, that's when it kind of transitioned for me to what I was actually doing with my clients. Because I was selling homes before I owned one.
Experience,
I don't know about you guys.
Interesting.
Right. So when I bought my first home, and I felt the process of having an offer in, right, or competing against 15, 16 offers. I got a sense of compassion for my clients, if that's the right word. Of what they're going through.
Well said.
And that kind of changed everything in my business, because once that happened, I understood what they were going through, and I was able to adhere to them a little bit better.
You had the practical experience as opposed to theory. That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, it's very different from when we're just talking about it. I've seen clients in all kinds of situations. And my situation, my experience is much different from what most of my clients are dealing with. But it's kind of similar in the sense that we're all looking for kind of the same end goal. It's getting the property of your dreams at the best price possible with the least amount of hassle, as I mentioned. So when you look at it that way, you really want to be there to assist your clients, because you understand now what they're going through. It's not just dollars being spent, it's where they're going to make the memories for their family going forward. And when you put it like that, your tone kind of changes, your patience increases greatly. And then you're just gonna have a much better time with your clients, because you're really on the same page now.
Very cool. Very well said. Haven't heard that before. Someone's how your systems and processes and whole mood around the business change after the practical experience that you had firsthand. That's very cool.
That's when we were able to join the a la carte, I like to call it, things, because when I want to sell my properties, I always say, like, I'm not going to have $20,000 to renovate my home. But if my realtor does, and he's willing to put those dollars up for me to make sure I get the most amount of money, you got my business all day.
Absolutely.
You got my business all day, right? And a lot of people, like, the niche we're targeting to is usually under $1 million homes. And those are a type of category or demographic. Like, I know they're not going to have that much money to make their home primo A1, call it whatever you want. So that's where we come in. And we're doing a pretty good job. Doing a pretty good job.
I like that. I like that you guys target that, because you hear some of these realtors, they want the big $4 or $5 million mansions, but I like that you're going more into that niche market where you're looking for anything $1 million or less. To really help them out and really maximize that sale for them. For sure.
I mean, I also like working with the young guys too, young girls, young guys. It's a fun experience for myself. Like I said, I really don't find my job or my work to be work. I really truly enjoy doing what I do. And I'm fortunate that I get to wake up every day and get to do this, because I talk to too many people that go work a 9 to 5 and it's not what they want to do. So I take a lot of pride in what we do. And I just want to be the best at it. And I just go about what I think is the best way to do it.
That's good for you. Good for you.
So what are the hurdles you find sometimes that make it where it's not as fun? When working either with a client or working with the sellers or buyers, other agents?
I mean, most of the time nowadays, you're going to understand we're in a business that has a lot of part-time agents. Right. So, in most occupations, everyone's doing it full-time, 9 to 5 every single day. So, and they went to school, usually have a degree or something to go with that as well. In our business, you can go to, I think it's at Humber College now, which they did make it a little bit more difficult to get the education. But you can pretty much get a real estate license in under a year and be in our business. Your English might not have to be the best. You don't have to have mathematics skills. No degrees. It's pretty limited, not like basic literacy that you need to get real estate license, and I'm working with those people every single day in the industry. So it's not really the clients that I'm worried about, because like I said, I love dealing with our clients. I understand their situation. I'm there for them. I'm working for them.
Yeah.
When we're working with other realtors who are part-time in the business, you know, some of them got full-time jobs, kids that they're also working with, and I'm on the phone with them when their kids crying in the background or dogs barking in the background, and I'm trying to piece a deal together with them over the phone. That becomes a harder part of our job, because there's not that same respect that you would have in maybe an office job when you're an accountant, lawyer, or even a doctor's office, right?
Interesting.
So dealing with part-time professionals, being a full-time professional, that's probably where I find
that's a good point.
A little bit of disparity.
Because you're giving your all.
Nice put.
It's not that they're not going to give their all, but again, they have other obligations. So it's I can see where that becomes challenging for sure.
Yeah, and I get that. And I listen to everyone their own. I mean, you guys got to do what you got to do. All the ladies got to do what they got to do. Mothers, especially. Like I said, I got a single mom. My heart goes out to you. Absolutely, take care of your kids. Find some time. We'll work on the deal later. But I think Shreb, Toronto Real Estate Board, and Rico, they should be able to tighten up the requirements to get a license, and that'll weave out a lot of the unprofessional part-time business that's in the market right now.
No, interesting, because coming from a top producer, we have a lot of those conversations on an ongoing basis where it's like on the B2B side, right? It's like, listen, like we want a motor, we want to scale, we love what we do, like we're on it, you know what I mean? Calls, emails, text messages, you got to be on all the time. So I could feel that pain point from you on our end, where it's just like, why aren't they on the same page? Why aren't they getting back to us? Why aren't they responding? Why aren't they being mindful that we have to have a pretty important conversation right now? They're not receptive of that. So you know what, we haven't had anyone talk about that, and it's awesome that you pointed that out, because coming from, like I said, a top performer and us trying to, you know, be the best that we can be as well, and always motoring, it's something that it could be a pain in the butt, right, to deal with. So good on you for identifying that and pointing it out, because it's nerve-wracking.
So funny you mentioned that about the phone calls and the emails. Imagine how much more money we would all make if everyone just answered their phone.
Or
responded to an email.
The phone.
Imagine everyone you called answered the phone the first time. How much more money we would all make.
Good point.
Right? But that's when it kind of goes down to like those part-time people. They're not answering the phone at 9 o'clock when you want them to. They're going to give you a call back at 6. You know,
and for sure. And even for us on the financing, and like people wanted answers yesterday in regards to approvals, in regards to, you know, just anything that allows them to understand they're going to be getting the money as soon as possible, or that approval. So if someone pushes off or delays, you know, like a nice chunk of time, and it drags out right into the evening, that's the difference between a client being, you know, satisfied with our service or really mad at us, you know, that it took that long. So happens in our world too, in a big way. I
believe it. I mean, half the game is waiting for some documents sometimes for you guys, right?
Half the game, 80% of it is just collecting documents half the time. It's like,
exactly.
You can't move forward just your ID and
exactly.
that's it,
paper chasing. We have a mortgage intake officer that what we did was we broke down our workload, and from that standpoint, the paper chasing, we have a mortgage intake officer, and until all those documents come in, it doesn't move into the underwriting stage, and we understand where that file sits, but we let the client know as well, like, listen, we can't move forward and start to underwrite this or position it with a lender before all that happens. So in a big way, paper chasing is part of the nerve-wracking part of what we do.
And I have you guys here, so this is perfect to tell any of the clients that are watching it and airing when this airs and they're watching this. I can't stress how getting pre-qualified to purchase a property, how important it is, and how it could save you dollars. Especially in this market now, when those conditions are back, we're seeing the financing condition more and more. By getting pre-approved and getting my guys your documents.
Thanks for the shout out. Thanks for
how much more money I can save them.
Absolutely.
Right, because if we're not putting those conditions on financing in now, your offer looks way more attractive, especially in this market.
Right.
So it's so funny how, you know, maybe it takes a day to get all those documents. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know, if you have it and you're organized, less than that.
It's your tax documents.
It's your tax documents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now should be a pretty good time because you probably just did that kind of work and you have them on you.
Yeah, exactly.
But that hour, that 30 minutes to maybe gather all the documents and send you guys an email, how it could save them 5, 10, 15,000.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else I promise I can do today to make $15,000.
Yeah.
That quickly.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah.
See, when you're looking at it from that angle, brilliant.
Yeah.
Love that.
There's nothing else I can do.
Yeah.
And home inspections as well. Like that's the other clause we're seeing very often.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of time now. There's not those offer dates that we were dealing with.
Yeah.
We have a home inspector on call. His name's Oscar. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
And he comes to the house with us while we're in the house on the showings. And he'll do the home inspection right there. So just by having you guys having the documents.
Really, eh?
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, right on.
Absolutely.
Efficiency, eh?
Oh, you have
Love
to.
It. Yeah,
You
good
have
for you.
to.
Good for you. That's
why would
awesome.
why would I want to try to compete if I don't need to?
Yeah.
If I don't need to. And it's like one of those things like if I can just get you guys the documents sooner and my client's pre-approved, why do I have to compete with someone who also has to still do that process? Why don't I just be proactive and get it done before? Same thing with the inspections, right? Same thing with just screening a home in general. You know, like we've been through so many properties and they might have not been the best homes, to be honest with you. But we got a home inspector to come in and take a look and made sure it wasn't the home for us before we waved it off.
Pull the plug.
So,
awesome.
So you know, just being proactive can save you money. And make sure you don't buy a bust or a lemon. My dad used to always tell me that, don't buy a lemon. You don't want to be stuck with the lemon. So I want to make sure I don't sell anyone a lemon. Or I'm the guy who sold you the lemon, right? So you don't want to be the guy selling lemons.
That's awesome.
No lemons.
No lemons. No lemons.
Okay.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming out today again. We really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're a super busy guy. So, it was awesome to have you.
Mr. Mete, everyone.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
And let everyone know where they can check you out.
Check me out. You could follow my Instagram at Your Realtor Jordan. And follow me on Instagram. We'll see you guys there.
Awesome. And big shout out to the sponsor again, Mike and Paul Gibo from Premium Barbershop at Weston and Rutherford. They got 6 barbers cutting you up all day long. An amazing espresso, a little bar, and the ambiance in there is great as well. So check them out, Premium Barbershop. Thank you very much.
Premium Barbershop.
Thanks again for tuning into this week's episode. Be sure to like, follow, and share. Hit the subscribe button down below, and we'll see you next week.
Next on What Would It Cost?
And so I've been in real estate for coming up on 8 years now as a salesperson. I've grown up around the business. My grandparents were realtors. My mother was a realtor my whole life growing up. She actually works on my team now as well with us. So third generation, seeing it growing up and the work and the hours. I wasn't too sure. I wasn't too set on it. But you know what? I absolutely fell in love with it. I really made sure I had all the right pieces in place before I pursued the team model. I actually teach the courses at Humber as well, real estate courses, so I was doing that for a while. Now I've gotten into teaching more university level courses. When I was teaching that and going through those kind of motions, some of the people and the reasons they were getting into real estate just didn't really make sense to me, right? So I think the big thing with the team is starting small, making sure that they're just an absolute bunch of rock stars, knowing everything inside out and backwards, conducting a deal the same way that I would myself.